the bloody hell?
It's rocker time.
Well, welcome bloody back, rockers and Rocker Talker fans. It's so good to have you here today. I want to tell you, this is one of my all-time favorite songs that I'm going to talk about. And, of course, that's Aqualung by one of my all-time favorite groups, Jethro Tull. And this is... I could literally spend all damn day, and perhaps most of the night, talking about this song. I love it, but I'll try to keep it a little bit concise, just for your benefit. Now, first of all, the song itself, if you didn't already know it, was all inspired by Ian Anderson's, the photo that his wife at the time, Jenny, took when she was down taking some pictures around the Salvation Army. And for those of you who don't know, how could you bloody not know? But the Salvation Army is where people in our society, go to for, they need a little nourishment, mostly in the way of food, but perhaps just a little, what do they say, the milk of human kindness. It's just to know somebody gives at least a little bit of a damn about them, and as they're really down on their luck, and many times sadly, people don't come back from this, from that state of being homeless. Of course, we're all surrounded by it today, are we not? It just seems like it used to be mostly just the older folks, and now, it's a lot of young people. But I won't belabor the point here. What I want to get straight away to is the song itself. First of all, when it opens, I find this to be more of a, like, Beethoven's Fifth. When it opens up, it's like da 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 da. Of course, with the song. Now, let's just give us a listen real quick here to the opening riff. Yes, yes, what a riff. What indeed. Probably one of the top, certainly one of the top 10, if not one of the top 5. Everybody knows instantly they hear that. Ba-da-da-da-da-da. Yes, right? You know where you're going. I particularly look at that as it's a call to your attention. Like in the court, hear ye, hear ye. That's da-da-da-da. Same thing. This da-da-da-da-da-da. Listen to this story. That's what I get from it. Listen to this story. I don't know what, if Ian even had any intention of that, but it was a riff that he had, and it's like he felt to play it. I've never heard that he intended it to be meant this way, but that is how I interpreted Rocker Talker. So I also interpret this song much to be in the same similar vein as Frankenstein's monster. This poor misunderstood creature, if you will, that, somewhere deep inside, he has a heart, but he's so misunderstood, and he's feared, and he's been through the mill. I mean, totally mistreated and all. So, he said, Frankenstein's monster, he's actually been dead and brought back to life. There's so much of this song that has that feel to me. Aqualung. Everything about it is Frankenstein's monster. But in this case, it's society's monster. And Ian Anderson says the song is not really so much about the homeless person or the homeless. It's about society's reaction to the homeless. Well, I think that's interesting. And God love you, Ian. That's not how I take it at all. But that's neither here nor there again. This is simply my interpretation of it, and do with it what you will. As you listen to it, it'd be interesting to hear your feedback on how you interpreted the song as well. But if we're supposed to really be, okay, let's dissect this. Let's just get down to it. in the very opening, after it's like he gets your attention, da 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 da, boom, come on, I've got a story. So the next line out of his next words are the first words. They're not the first words after that wonderful riff is sitting on the park bench. Okay, we know where he's at. Immediately, it's like, oh, I'm interested. I tell you, I love this from top to bottom. As soon as I hear that sitting on the park bench, he says, it's like, okay, got my attention. And then he goes on to say, which I don't even know if it could be allowed to be played on the radio today. If it just came out, I doubt it. Of course, such a different times indeed. Where he says, eyeing little girls with bad intent. Well, there's nothing else you can make of that. I hear many different people trying to talk about this song, and they just seem to kind of want to brush over that a little bit. I know the imagery they show is like the little girls are like in their 20s, 30s. Now, I think he's talking about school age. I'm talking like grade school girls. Bold, to say the least. I have to say, is this what he's trying to say? Certainly, he's sitting on the park bench, and he happens to be across from this grade school. And is this just supposing that is what he's doing? As he's sitting there, do we know that he's really thinking this? I don't know. But if so, it's not necessarily going to make you really endeared to this character, is it? So, and I know this much from the day when I heard this, it came out, I really was interested in the reaction initially from rockers. But I also have to interject. This came off of the Jethro Tull album, which really didn't really make the splash initially. And the song Jethro Tull's, the song Aqualung, of course the album's on, but the song never was a single, so it never had a chance to chart because of that. Anyway, I digress. Coming back to the reaction was, oh my God, did he just say yes? Okay, and others were like, yes, really applauding. It's like, that's rock and roll, baby. That's just so raw. He's not holding anything back. It's like, okay, this is what this guy's doing. We all might suppose this is like, look at him. He's just licking his chops as he's looking at these little girls. Okay, whatever. So take it for what that's up to you. Obviously, what you want to do with that, how you feel about it. But needless to say, many people more than happy to sing the phrase rather with some enthusiasm. Interesting, isn't it? So the next thing, so if you're already kind of like tied up with this, okay, instantly, you don't really get a chance to process what he just said about eyeing little girls with bad intent. And then he comes right up, boom, snot running down his nose. But he got always wearing this garb, and he's smearing all this grease and the oily clothes. And it's just like, oh my God, you just want to go take a shower after you hear this, right? But at the same time, God, it's so juicy. It's so, oh man, where is this going? I can't wait. And this happens, does it not? Rockers. Even if you've heard this song 1,000 times, as soon as it comes on, you're just going to sit back and listen to it. Oh, what kind of trip is this? Is he taking us on with this? From the very start, from the instant that opening with that riff. So then as it goes into the whole thing, as we know, as it has this, there's a bunch of different elements here. That you've got this sort of like he's talking almost like he's in his head, right? It's because of the first thing we know as he's very boldly declaring to the whole world without any, it's just as strong as it can be, snot running down his nose. It's accusatory. It's accusatory. It's unacceptable. Look at this, man. Snot running down his nose, it's after we just told you he's eyeing little girls about, it's blah, 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 blah. I declare this man to be completely deplorable. And so then he goes on to be very kind. But there's this part of the song where he's saying it almost like, like a child to a child. From my heart to your heart. Oh, please understand. We love you. There's a very loving nurture. And it says, don't start away uneasy. You poor old sot. You see, it's only me. See, I'm reaching down to you. So please do not fear the cold, cruel rolled out here, because we care for you. There's care in the world for you. And it's just literally, it comes off almost like a mother rocking, cradling the child, Dee 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 dee, la da 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 dee. So, and we're going to go, the army's up the road. We're going to go there. We're going to get you something for you, some little cup of tea and some nourishment and all that. And then he's got this part that I was trying to tell you about earlier, I was trying to describe, where it's like this off recording. So where he says to him, it's like he's in Aqualung's head. It's like, do you remember December's foggy freeze? With the whole, when the ice froze to your beard, and the agony and all this. It's just like, do you remember how really, really cold and agonizing the world can be? Do you remember? It's just awful. It's just all there is to it. This world seems to have no heart, no compassion whatsoever. And so you're kind of doing this split screen, are you not? As you're listening to this, you're like, oh, geez, this is awful. This poor man, his life, and then you want to love him, do you not? You want to say, oh, I'm going to reach out to you. I'm going to, you want to be there. And then what happens? What does he do, Ian? But he's like, okay, now he mentions he's got a bad leg, and he bends down to what? To pick a dog end. I'm sorry, but that's crazy, right? He bends down to pick, so no sooner kind of, okay, right, he's wearing shabby clothes, he's snot, he's wanting to have sex with the little girls and all, but I was okay with it because I understand I've got the milk of human kindness in me too. I want to feed him, so want to nurture this poor old soul. And then he bends down to pick a dog in. You're kind of just like, okay, I don't know what, really. I think I have to conclude this poor man, and you wonder that. There's that too, right? That's part of it. Was this man once a successful businessman of sorts, or who knows, maybe just successful of some sort? Maybe he had a family and something went terribly wrong. Perhaps he's always been just a little mentally off, and it's just gotten progressively worse as time has gone on. You just don't know, but his mind, you have to go, okay, if it's to this point where he's picking a dog end, this... not much, it's kind of sad. It's not only disgusting, but it's sad. So that is, and then it's the whole song, and of course comes back, and it finally winds out with it again, that he wants to remind us, and then it just ends with basically, Aqualung. He's gone. It's like he's back. He puts him back in what I'm trying to say is he ends with where he starts, and it's like there's no real conclusion to it. It's kind of like, well, tomorrow he'll still be here. He'll still be sitting on the park bench. He'll still be checking out your daughter going to this grade school, and he's still going to be all shabby and snotty and picking dogs' behinds. But if anybody has have a heart, please point him, show him the way to at least get him a little sustenance so that he can go on. one more day. So I know, and I don't mean to make anywhere near light of it, but you do have to ask yourself, maybe he'd be better off, if he wasn't there. I don't know. Even like Elton John's, they saw, better off dead. But it was, I shouldn't even go there. You just wonder, though, with this whole thing. Ian Anderson, oddly, with the album, of course, Jethro Tull, Aqualung, amazing album, goes down in history as one of the top all-time greats. I would say it was one of the top, I almost give it the top 20, maybe top 15, where, some people's rank is more into the 300s. I just think it's just fantastic. But I particularly, and I won't go too much into the band Jethro Tull, but I love Jethro Tull because, and Ian, the Anderson, because he is so bloody theatrical. Nobody, hardly anybody does this. Even, Led Zeppelin and all this. It's really cool. You got here again, you've got the garb, you kind of have the trappings of it, but you really aren't turning it into a play. If anybody's listened to my stuff, they know what I've done. When all the bands I had, so much of what I did, I put every bit as much, if not more, emphasis on the actual theater of it all. That's really, to me, rock and roll lends itself so well to that. And I'm not talking, obviously, you got the people, the pyrotechnics, and in some cases, this just outrageous hair and, smashing the guitars, all that. Yes, it's entertaining. But it never goes to what I really would love to see more of, as I did with my bands. It was to put that theatrical, that real theater, and Ian Anderson absolutely did. When you see the videos, if you look at it, watch any of those videos on YouTube, unfortunately, in my opinion, it could have been so much better had it been more in a more of a theater setting instead of just on a stage. But the way Ian did this, now I would say, so like it comes out, Ian's got, so he kind of takes he becomes the character, Aqualung, and there's this part of him, he's like kind of like creeping up from under. He says, there's this creepiness of it. It's like, that's oh gosh, I'm coming in from the depths of society, and I'm wild-eyed, and I'm crazy, and I'm craven. All these things Ian does project when he's doing it. He's performing. He's not just up there singing la 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 la. No, he's becoming the character. I feel that's how I interpret it. And just this last little bit I will leave you all with is that, interestingly, Ian Anderson never played the flute before this album. He's only started playing this, according to Ian himself, a couple weeks before doing the recording. And that he had played a tin whistle before. So he knew how to do that, but the flute was new to him. And when he started Jethro Tull, when he started this, they really wanted to have something unique. So, and it's still the only band in the land, this rock band, to actually have a flutist or flautist playing that there's like the lead of the band. It's really unique. And so, and again, I don't want to get too much into this because I want to talk about Jethro Tull on its own, just the band. So the fact that he had just really started picking this up a couple, 2 weeks or so before doing this album, and there's so much more too. It's really, I could go on literally for hours about this song alone. But this tells you pretty much what I feel is the core of what I want to say about this song, Aqualung. And so with that, I'm going to go ahead now and I'm going to part and leave the rock garden for now. But I want everyone to know you can easily contact me. Whether if you are, for example, you want me to do a pitch for you, you want me to use my my voice and my celebrity to pitch your rock-related service or items, please just let me know. Talk to me directly. I don't use agents anymore. Don't need them. Don't bloody need them. Most of the time, they were just more trouble than they were worth anyway. Oh, if you're a band and you want me to do an interview, yeah, I do this for no charge. If you're a really good rock band and you just want to get, you want to get interviewed by the rocker, I'm here for you. So, additionally, I want everybody to know, if you have any comments or suggestions, anything at all of this, you can all reach me at rockertalker.com, by the way. That's where, you contact me through rockertalker.com. But if you're here on YouTube and you haven't already subscribed, please do, because I want to make sure that you always be able to get any videos I release, just to make sure you hit that bell so that you'll be notified. And of course, hit the like button if you like what you hear, all right? So, for now, rockers, Rocker Talker, rock fans, rock on with your bad self. And remember, I know it's only rock and roll, but I love it.